seated. Welcome to this second Sunday of Advent. I love the Advent season as our journey of awakening to that oneness with that Christ consciousness within. And we would be no place else than right here on earth. As earth beings, we express ourselves living and breathing on this journey. And today's talk is peace on earth. Just how do we do that? And I turn to the wisdom of Reverend Eric Butterworth, Unity Minister. Things may happen around you, and things may happen to you. But the only things that matter are the things that happen in you. It's a tough one to get to know in each and every one of our breath moments as earth beings, that our peace and the things that really matter is what's going on within us. What's going on outside of us does affect us. Like if the wind's blowing and it's cold, we're cold. If someone's shouting on us, we close down, listen, and try to find our way to navigate through someone yelling at us. But our peace and what really matters is not the snow, the wind, the person, the place, the politics, the community, the family. Outside us, it's what's going on within us. And therein lies our journey of finding peace on earth. We've been using the powerful Unity booklet, which if you have not picked it up yet, we have them out on the welcome table. And it is a day-by-day guide through this Advent season, and we're using the booklet to help illuminate our journey on the Sunday messages. And for the entry for today, which is the first day of peace, Reverend Teresa Burton says this: a key to peaceful living is to practice forgiveness as a way of living the truth we know. And she continues in this writing by saying, when we forgive, we're choosing to see beyond circumstance, beyond appearance, beyond the immediate reactions. Through forgiveness, we realize that peace comes from releasing resentments, blame, and frustration, and committing to see the truth in ourselves and others. This is vitally important because in this journey, we need to forgive others. And probably the most important one is to look into the mirror and forgive ourselves. It's both and. And our master teacher, Jesus, said, forgive. And when asked, how many times do you forgive? 70 times 7. Which means this is an active part of living and being, and we're going to have to do it over and over again. I have a little story to tell. Actually, it's not a story. Let's just newsreel it. Fact from Gary Canier's life. I have an older brother. His name's Douglas, and he has been the font of amazing teaching in my life. One of the greatest teachers I've ever had, because he's the person who has given me the opportunity to slam down the phone so many times because I have a mountain of issues with my brother Douglas. And I want to make sure he knows all of them. And I'm sure he's got a mountain of things he wants to deal with me. And there was no peace in the relationship. Even in my training as a unity minister, where I just love everybody except my very irritating brother. Good teacher. And as I began the practice of forgiving myself and forgiving him and realizing I don't have the power to change my brother, whatever gave me the idea I could. I don't know, insanity. But I can't change anybody. There is the possibility I can change myself, which might be a whole nother topic. I don't want to work on myself today. But what is true is my relationship with my brother is now I just relate to him as a person. He happens to be my brother, but he's just this great guy who's gotten into sailing. He loves boats and being on the water, and he works on boats, and he goes out sailing in San Francisco Bay, and he's just alive with this enthusiasm, and I can celebrate that aliveness. And now when I think of my brother, it's actually a comfort and a peace, because he's a great guy. And the mountain of ammunition that I'd stored up for 60 years, because it took 60 years to come to peace with my own brother. What a great teacher. We were for each other a bulletin board, poster child of, okay, are you ready to forgive? Are you ready to really forgive? Are you ready to let go? Are you ready to accept me just as I am? Good teaching, good learning. And this wisdom is very profound, and it's with us even in the Bible. Philippians chapter 4, verse 9. Keep on doing the things that you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, and the peace of God will be with you. It is a great comfort that the peace of God is with us, that guides us through our journey of whoever we're learning to forgive and accept, which could be our children, our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our boss, our partner, or the person looking back at you in the mirror. We can take what we learn, what we come to know as truth, and then live our lives on that belief. And then we reserve the right to change our mind at any time, because we will grow, and in our growth, we will experience a change in our consciousness. And then everything looks different, which is why we need to forgive, and then we need to forgive, and then we need to forgive, and then we need to forgive over and over and over again. And that returns us to wholeness. It returns us to peace. And this, Reverend Kelly Isola, unity minister, the root of the Hebrew word for peace is shalom, which means whole, complete, sound, and points to peace within oneself as well as peace with all life. I love having a word that encompasses that wholeness of all. Often when we think of peace, it's just waving a white flag, or just one of the words in many of the Christmas carol songs, which it's part of a whole bunch of them. Peace is like a really important thing when we're beginning to share our love with others. And so in this wholeness and completeness, we turn to the peace within. And when there's peace within, there's peace outside us. When there's peace in me in relating with my brother, there's peace in the world. Because peace begets peace. Joy begets joy. Love begets love. Hate begets hate. Anger begets anger. Shame begets shame. Whatever we put out is what we create in the world. Which is why when we live in shalom, we're living in wholeness. Fully complete just as we are right now. Martha Smock is a woman who she edited Daily Word for many years. She continues to provide great wisdom for me. And here, if there is even one person with whom you're not at peace, then you have a work to do. And the work begins with you, in your thoughts and feelings and in your reactions. So if there's any person in your life that you got that little niggle with, it can be an ex, it could be a now, it could be any person in your life that you have that disquiet. Like, for example, how my brother was to me for 60 years of my life. And as long as you have that person lighting the light, shining a light, here's an area I need to forgive. Here's an area I need to let go. Here's an area I can do what I can do to find my peace, to bring about peace on earth. Peace now. And it's always available to us. Our peace is always available to us. And some relationships have a lot of work to do. And they'll be some of the best teachers when we allow them to guide us to our wholeness. And that's a good thing. Co-founder Charles Fillmore here, a daily prayer for wisdom and divine guidance in the conduct of one's affairs will restore peace and harmony to mind and body. And health must, of necessity, follow. I am so grateful that I've come to unity to know that in my prayer and meditation time every day, I can call upon wisdom and divine guidance. And when I turn my attention to God, divine nature, my divine identity, to glean that, to receive that wisdom and that guidance, then my peace will be restored. Because there is no discord in God. There's no hatred in God. There's no lack in God. There's no doubt in God. And so when we open ourselves to that wisdom and that divine guidance, even our health will be restored. The pain will be lessened. Our journey becomes a journey filled with hope, with calm, with the light of peace. And this is a great blessing. I am so grateful that I've come to a place in my life where one jangly relationship in my life, my brother, who's a relationship I will always have, has become an easy one. But only because I've been willing to do the work. May Rowland was the head of Silent Unity for many years. Peace and serenity are not found in a set of circumstances or conditions in life. Peace and serenity come through a feeling of oneness with that which is eternal and secure. Just like the wind, we can't grab or see the wind. We can see the effect of the wind, but we can't see the wind. God. We can't grab God and see God, but God's still present, always, everywhere present. We can't grab or color or decorate for Christmas peace and serenity, but we can live and breathe peace and serenity in all that we do, because it comes through that knowing, that recognizing of our oneness. Now, if we relate to other people as we're one with them, we can love them just the way they are. We don't have to like them, but we can still love them. Because lots of people do things that I don't agree with, and I can love them anyway and not like what the behavior is. This allows us to live and breathe our peace and our tranquility, our serenity, because we can't change somebody else, but we can change ourselves, maybe. It's not instant, but we can practice it every day. And that practice is the journey of being a human being living on earth. And if we choose to, we can be peace on earth. Wayne Dyer is a great teacher in my life. He's someone I'm sure we're all familiar with on some level. He was a member of our church at Unity Church of Maui. And peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. So if there's anything today that you take away this wisdom. Because we need to retrain our focus rather than on all the stuff we know is right. The ammunition that we can fire at the people we love or know or even don't know. Rather than focusing on that, we can focus on oneness. We can retrain our mind to accept what is right now. And when we don't argue with the present moment, boy, we can truly experience peace. And it's a blessing to be here right now in peace. There are so many opportunities we can find to retrain our mind. Can you think of any people in your life you're ready to let go of, forgive, and accept just as they are? Wayne Dyer continues with, peace can become a lens through which you see the world. Be it, live it, radiate it out. Peace is an inside job. So if we can't grab a hold of peace, we can feel it. We can accept our lives just as it is and find we're sitting in peace. Peace is something that comes through us out of just being. And when we're not experiencing lack or doubt or criticism or judgment, we can live our peace. We can radiate peace so that we can be a peacemaker. And then we can say, peace on earth goodwill to all. Because it's ours to bring the message of peace, which can be by a smile, can be a hug, can be a thank you, or be saying, you're right. And from this, we have a way of living through this busy time of year, knowing that we have hope and faith and peace as foundation points to live the life that we never dreamed possible, a full life in shalom. So let's take this into meditation as the Unity Singers help us guide our way to this present moment in song.
Lord, prepare me, be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, teach our children to stop the fighting, start uniting, live as one. Let's get together, loving forever, a sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Yes. Our sanctuary is this present moment. And as we realize this truth, we take a moment. And let's quietly recite to ourselves, peace, be still. Peace, be still. Breathing in and breathing out. Peace, be still. And as we quiet the mind and we drop the shoulders, we allow ourselves to be present to this moment. So as we are about to prepare to drop into meditation, I invite you to call upon the divine presence within to bring forth for you wisdom and divine guidance, to restore peace. So let's take this into our center as we now drop into meditation in the silence. We invite the light of peace as we accept our oneness with God. And so let's bring from this meditation the wisdom and divine guidance and the peace that we've experienced. And let that be what we share the rest of the day. So as we awaken to this moment, we might wiggle our toes and wiggle our fingers. We might roll our head or our shoulders and come fully present to this room and this now moment. And when we've arrived, we'll say this affirmation for today's message together. I truly know peace on earth begins with me and with each individual. And so it is.
Step out on the water, release your faith. Every step is stronger. Step out on the water.